Hey everyone, this is Gutierrez, and I'm back with another commentary. Today we're going to be looking at a user by the name of Austin Gutierrez, something along those lines. Austin, his name's Austin, and he decided to make a video entitled ESRB Rant and Why AO18 Plus is a Censorship Rating. It's not a good video. So let us begin.
Every pony will know my beauty.
Okay, one is the 1 year difference between the mature rating and the adults only rating. Two, the shady background business with the adults only rating and how it's used really as a form of censorship. Three, the parents. Okay, so I'm gonna be talking about the M rating and the adults only rating. So the SRB was founded back in 1994, and with that they came out with these two ratings: the mature rating and the adults only rating. So this is really asinine, in my opinion, that they decided to make a 1 year difference between the two ratings. I can't think of a single reason why they would do it.
I can, but we'll get there when it becomes relevant.
And they should make the mature rating 16 and up, and the adults rating 18. And if I were a parent, this is pretty ridiculous because in the United States, you can drive a car when you're 16, and here in Oregon State, you can buy fireworks from fireworks stands in parking lots when you're 16. But you can't buy a video game until you're 17? I mean, from a parent's standpoint, if I were a parent, why would I trust my kid with my car that I could potentially damage, break, and kill themselves and other people with? Or go kill themselves with fireworks or do something stupid with fireworks, but they can't buy a video game?
Now, I won't lie, I have absolutely no idea how things progress in Oregon State, so I really can't speak on that front, but I can tell you something. At least up here in New York State, a child can still buy an M-rated game. They just need their parent to come with them in order to get it.
Come on, that is ridiculous. It's just as ridiculous as saying, the laws. So at 18 you can go sign up for the military, but you're not old enough to go out and buy a beer. Same difference.
Once more, a child under the age of 17 can purchase a game that is rated M for mature. They just need a legal adult with them when they do it.
And I don't see the reason why it would be tough to lower the mature rating to 16 either, because a ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court in 2011 found that video games are a constitutionally protected form of expression, and laws restricting their sale or rental based on violent content are unconstitutional. So that said, there wouldn't be any legal charge to lower the rating by 1 year. So why don't they? Is a good question. And then I don't see why the stores are hard asses with the M rating anyway, because they can't get in legal trouble. I mean, the parents can get mad, but I mean, why the store has to listen to the parents? Just return the game, and it's not a big deal. I mean, and I'll be talking about the parents later, but the store, why you have such a motive to even restrict the sales is beyond me. I understand, you don't want to sell an M-rated game to an 8-year-old, but a 16-year-old walking with a driver's license, me honestly, when you're saying no to that 16-year-old with a driver's license with an M-rated game, you're just being an absolute dick to them.
No, they're doing their job. In a lot of places, if they don't say no, they could lose their job. Keep in mind that even then, if the child under the age of 17 truly wants to buy an M-rated game, all they have to do is bring their parent with them. It's not that hard.
So my next point is the adults only rating. So Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft, they won't license any video games for their gaming consoles with an AO rating, and the belief is that AO rated titles won't sell well, but this is incorrect because the adults only rating was rated for the Manhunt 2 and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and they sold like wildfire. In fact, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I believe, is the best-selling video game of all time.
Okay, couple things. One, no, the game will not sell well because most stores won't carry it. Two, those examples are not all that great. San Andreas started off as an M-rated game. It didn't actually get that adults-only rating until someone found out that you could hack the game in such a way that allows you to have sex with the characters. That's when they got the AO rating. That's when it got pulled off the shelf. So Rockstar went in and fixed it to get that M rating back. Manhunt 2. The game was deemed too violent for an M rating, so it got slapped with an adults-only rating instead, meaning that the consoles, the major selling market, wouldn't carry them. So they actually went in and fixed it up so that they could sell it on the consoles. And then they ported the uncensored version over to PC later on. See, what I'm getting at is that both those games sold well when they were M-rated.
Behold the power of the Changeling Queen.
So, but the real reason why they restrict the AO-rated video games is to really it's just censorship those titles. This is a form of discrimination on the part of the game publisher's part, because you're telling a publisher that I won't license your video game just simply because it has an AO rating. Same thing as telling a person at a job that interview, I'll hire you because you're straight, but I won't hire this person because he's a gay person.
I absolutely love this comparison. It's completely bullshit. Why don't we take a look at why most games are rated adults only, shall we? Alright, so looking at the site, this is a Wikipedia article, so take it however you will. First off, let's start at the top. All Nude Cyber. Released in 1997. Strong sexual content. Critical Point. Released in 2002. Strong sexual content. Violence. Hatred. Blood, gore, intense violence, and strong language. Awesome. The Joy of Sex, 1993, strong sexual content. And Exchange, 1997, strong sexual content. Let's take a look at some of these, shall we? Let's see. Let's start off with Exchange. This is Giant Bomb. They call it a pornographic game about a young man who transformed into a busty girl who is then unable to keep her legs together. It's rated adults only. Can't imagine why. Now let's look at Manhunt 2. This is not a porn game, so let's see why it has the adults-only rating it does. Some of this stuff can be kind of gruesome, so I'm going to put an annotation here to allow you to skip past this stuff, in case you really don't want to see this.
Quit before it's too late!
Yeah, can't imagine why it was rated adults only.
It's discrimination on the same level, and this is censorship because you're not allowing the adult population to play these games or have easy access to them.
Which is honestly a good thing. You don't want these games to be easily accessible for children because, frankly, most of the games that are rated adults only are porn, which game stores could get in trouble for.
And it restricts people's First Amendment rights, freedom of expression, because the AO, because no one can get their hands on an AO game because the stores won't sell. Most retail stores won't sell them. They won't license the game. So you have to go. You have to go to. You probably have to go to a porn shop to even go buy those games, or you have to order them online. And there's absolutely no reason to do that. Why the stores don't sell them is beyond me.
So now we're complaining about how it stifles the developers' freedom of expression. No, it's not. They still have every right to make the game. They still have every right to sell the game. It's just that you aren't going to see it in your local GameStop, or on the Nintendo, or the PlayStation, or the Xbox, because that's not the market that these companies are going for. The reason behind that is because the majority of the games rated adults only are porn, which is illegal to distribute to minors. So most companies aren't going to take the risk because they don't want to get their asses sued.
No, these big corporations are so greedy with money. I don't know why they even bother. But I really think that the reason why they have this AO range just so because it doesn't fit in with these big. Whoever is in charge of these big corporations doesn't fit in with the moral values. I think by religiously, because in the United States, the adults are okay with sending their young people off to go to war and go die, but they're not okay with them drinking, having sex, or smoking. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And that's and when they have sex in a video game, people go apeshit in this country. So that's why they censorship AO titles.
It's not fucking censorship. They still have every right to make these games. They really do. They have every single right to make these games. How do you think Hatred got onto Steam, for Pete's sake? How do you think that Rockstar was able to release Manhunt 2, the uncut version, on PC with no issues? It's not that these companies can't make these games, it's just that most publishers won't publish them because it's not the market they're looking for. Let's go back to your example. Let's go back to your piss-poor example of hiring a straight guy over a homosexual guy and really make it apply to the situation. Okay, so let's say that you're hiring someone for an IT position, information technology, so you expect them to know computers to some extent. You have two options. You can hire the straight guy who has been doing nothing but studying computers, so clearly he knows his shit, or the gay guy who knows absolutely nothing about computers. Who are you gonna hire?
So my last point is, for the parents, it is your job to be the parent and police what games your children play, not the store. Because it is your job to make sure that your kid is playing a game that's appropriate for their age. And when you pick up a game off the shelf like Grand Theft Auto 5, the ESRB is doing everything they can to help you make an informed choice. And then the store clerk will usually help you out too by informing you that this is a mature rated game. Are you sure your kid will play it? So you look on the front of the game box. There's a big fat M on it in the bottom left corner. And you look on the back in the bottom right corner of the box. There's content descriptions and blown up for you. It's rated. Grand Theft Auto 5 is rated M for mature for blood and gore, intense violence, strong language, mature humor, nudity, strong sexual content, and use of drugs and alcohol.
Wait. Just a minute ago, we were condemning GameStop for doing their job, for making it a requirement that anyone under the age of 17 has to have a legal adult with them before they can purchase a game. Now we're praising them for explaining to the legal adult why the game is rated M, double checking to make sure that this kid is allowed to get this game. I'm gonna question this and ask you one simple question. How can they double check with the parent if they're not there?
Brush my hair,
if you're offended by certain content, I mean, you could simply just not play the game. Just don't support it, okay? But you don't have the right to censorship the game or restrict the sale of the game from the adult population.
Censor the game? No. Restrict the sale of the game? Oh, most definitely. Especially when you're trying to make sure that the games in question only get into the hands of the adult population, which is where the issues arise. And we're pretty much going to cut the video there because it's more or less over. What do I think of this video? It's not good. To simply put, it's not that great of a video. He's rambling on and on and on about how adult-only ratings are censorship, and the thing about the adults-only rating is that it's generally reserved for content that should only be seen by adults according to the legal system, like sex. Now, they do use it for other cases, like in Manhunt, where it's just gratuitously violent, but you know what? There's literally only like 3 games that have ever gotten that particular rating for that reason. Manhunt, 2, Hatred, and one other one that I can't remember the name of. And considering that there's absolutely no shortage in violent video games right now, it's a pretty safe bet that they aren't that strict about the violent game aspect as opposed to the pornographic aspect. Which kind of renders the entire point of Austin's video moot, because the video games that would be sold in a video game store if it wasn't for the adult-only rating are readily available. Hatred is available on Steam. You can go on Steam and buy it right now. Manhunt 2, you can easily track that game down. It's not that hard. The only game, and I remember the name now, the only game that you cannot track down is Thrill Kill. And that's just because it wasn't released. Otherwise, the majority of games that receive the AO rating are for one simple reason. One very simple reason. It's illegal for children to play them. The reason why the adults only rating exists for the most part is because of games that feature pornographic content. Content that is not viewable by anyone under the age of 18 because it is illegal. Or gambling, like legitimate gambling. There's actually one game that's rated adults only because you can gamble real money in it. But what it really boils down to is that Austin here is complaining about an issue that really, in the grand scheme of things, isn't an issue. If you know where to look, and with Steam that becomes infinitely easier, you can purchase those gratuitously violent video games. Anyways, this is Gutierrez, and I'm signing off.